May 24th really was a dark and stormy night. The pounding rain didn't bother me so much, but the tornado sirens blaring at 9 p.m. did catch my attention. I quickly gathered up the usual pillows, blankets, and flashlights and headed for a safe spot in my house. Then I realized I wanted two more things: a special photo and a special box. As for the photo, it's my favorite picture of my mom. And as for the box, it's where I keep special cards I've received over the years. Do you remember how great you felt the last time you received a card in the mail? Cards connect with the heart. Cards are kindness you can hold in your hand. Cards are intended for an audience of one. They're not written to generate likes or shares or comments. They're private and personal. That's what makes them so refreshing. It wasn't until 1923 that homes were required to have mailboxes. Since that time, people have been checking their mail every day, secretly hoping for a personal message. That's because cards are always a welcome treat. Emails can be an unpleasant interruption, a burden, something you want to delete. But a hand-addressed envelope in your mailbox? Now that is a delightful surprise. I imagine even the postal carrier enjoys the opportunity to deliver something besides coupons and sale flyers. When you receive a card, you want to savor the message. That's why I keep my cards in pretty boxes like this one. I can vividly remember times of overwhelming grief and loss. I wasn't sure how I was going to make it to the next day. I wondered if maybe I was down for the count. And then, in my mailbox, a card filled with hope, a card that showed me someone cared, a card that reminded me that there were other people who would walk with me through this difficult time. Day after day, another card, another dose of encouragement, until finally my heart healed. I often reread those cards, and when I do, my heart is still touched by those handwritten messages. Other boxes contain cards from happier times, and I brought a few with me today. Dear Grammy, thanks for the stuff you sent us. I like the zoo the best. I want to go right now. I like you. Love, Breenie. She's only 4 years old, and she already knows that it's fun to send cards. Olive, so glad you could present your passion at the ladies' conference. Grace and peace, Kathy. This one's from my daughter. Yay! Mom, it only makes sense to congratulate you on your handwritten card TED Talk with a handwritten card. Lots of love. So proud of you, Lisa. And the only thing better than receiving that card is having my daughter in the audience today. When I think about how these cards encouraged me, it motivates me to take the time every week to send cards to other people because I want to encourage them too. Over the years, I watched my mom connect with people of all ages by sending cards. She always had piles of cards on her kitchen table, ready for any occasion. She had her own special way of signing every single card. A great big sunshine happy face, and her favorite verse, "The Lord bless you and keep you." In fact, sending cards was such a part of her life, I included this tribute in her obituary. Zella was well known for her many acts of kindness and compassion including sending cards. I also learned a lot about sending cards from my dear friend Jeannie. Jeannie had a special knack for responding quickly to the needs of others by sending a card. How appropriate. In the 6 short weeks she battled cancer, she received over 100 cards. Her sister hung them on a room divider at the foot of the bed, and even when she couldn't get out of bed, she could look at those cards and know she was loved by so many people. In her words, I had no idea so many people cared. Isn't that a wonderful thought to have when you know you're living your last days? The cool thing is, a forever stamp will deliver your forever message. And there are so many trendy ones available. It certainly adds a touch of personality to your envelope, especially if you choose the most popular commemorative stamp of all time, the Elvis stamp. It's pretty easy to get started sending cards. You can buy your cards, make your cards, or simply fold a piece of pretty paper. What matters most is your personal message inside the card. You can even keep a list of sayings and verses to help you write that message. When we look up from our screens, we will quickly discover so many opportunities for sending cards. You can thank a kind nurse, a helpful teacher, a dedicated volunteer. You can acknowledge all kinds of personal achievements like buying a home, running a 5K, or even finishing chemo treatment. Any college student would love to receive a card, especially if there's a little cash involved. Why not share a favorite memory with an older relative, or simply brighten the day of anyone who lives alone? Don't shy away from difficult circumstances. Your card does not need to include a solution or an explanation. The purpose of your card is to show that you care. Trust me, I've been sending cards for over 40 years. Your personal card will be remembered and cherished much longer than any social media post. Consider these majestic words engraved over the entrance to the Smithsonian National Postal Museum in Washington, D.C. Messenger of sympathy and love, servant of parted friends, consoler of the lonely, bond of the scattered family, enlarger of the common life. All this for the price of a postage stamp. And that's why it's always first class to send a card.